All right. Hi, Pink Power. I'm so excited to be here tonight. I'm Jamie Haskin, Emerald Ambassador with Plexus, and I'm here with Jennifer Converse. She is Gold Ambassador and actually a recent Fast Start Gold from March. And we are just really excited to share, kind of break down a little bit more of what that looked like for her to go Fast Start Gold. Really just what any activity would look like when you have big goals and you're just running and you are all in. So what that really breaks down to and some tangible activity and things like that. So whether you're going, just starting and going for silver, going for gold, or whether you are going for ruby or jewel or the top or re-entry, whatever it is, that fast start all in activity and what that kind of looks like. So breaking that down a little bit further, I think of one word that just really stood out when I was thinking about just kind of what last month even looked like with Jen and working with her and everything. And the word hungry just came to mind. Are you hungry? Because I feel like that really encompasses everything, you guys, whether it is your activity and it is reaching out to new people, it's following up with people and posting and getting involved and getting out there, or whether it's learning and watching videos, getting on these team calls. You're on this call right now, you're hungry, whether it's doing that personal growth reading, getting into book club, watching videos every day, watching multiple videos a day, wanting to learn. Are you hungry for that? That should be something you're excited about, that you want to do. That's not a chore. It's something that you are just hungry to learn. And that translates into just being coachable and duplicating. And all of this really breaks down to starting with a decision, whether it's to try the products in the beginning, a decision to share, a decision to help others, and a decision just to be all in. So you're deciding, committing, and just doing. Simple, just to do. So if you're hungry, that is going to move on through that decision, that commitment, and it's going to break down. A third part I wanted to touch base on is belief. Because if we are hungry, if we are learning, our belief, if it's not already rock solid and high, it will get there. It will grow, because you cannot be hungry and learning and watching videos and learning about network marketing in general, learning about our company, Plexus itself, learning about these products. You can't be constantly learning and not build that belief. You cannot. It just won't happen. It will build, it will grow, because you guys, everyone will, you'll see what we truly have at our fingertips, because it is unique. It is here. It's in front of us, you guys. And having that belief is critical. It's critical for growing, for whether you are, riding that momentum, whether you are, kind of at the downward of a roller coaster right now, whether you're a little bit stagnant, that belief is going to carry you through everything, and it is critical. And you need to believe. We need to believe in ourselves, believe to dream, believe to meet goals, and that you're going to succeed. And knowing and believing and telling yourself that you will be a diamond. There's a difference whether you have that decision, and that decision is, well, maybe, and I'll try, or whether that decision is, yes, I am going, and we're throwing those maybes out the window, and there is no excuses, because this is happening, and it's happening now, and I'm going to make it happen. So having that hunger, that belief, that decision, that commitment to do. So in terms of, I'm going to turn this over to Jen here, and she's going to talk more about this, because really she has that hunger. She jumped in 2 feet, swimming, going, and she has that hunger, that belief, and she's just going to talk more about what being all in looks like for her right now, and kind of the activity and things that she's, telling us a little bit more about her story and what she's going through too. So Jen, go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. Thank you. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Okay, yes. Sorry, I muted myself.
Okay, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's totally fine. Okay, so I apologize, because I'm going to look down at my notes, because otherwise we'll be here for like 3 hours, because I get to talking and I don't stop. So I am super, super excited to share with you guys. I am just really honored that Jamie asked me to speak, because It's kind of just been a whirlwind so far, like super, super fast, but a really good one. So I really truly believe that 95% of this business is belief and excitement. And if you're really excited about what you're sharing, it's absolutely contagious. And just to never underestimate what a little excitement can do for your business. And I can say that because when I came in, I felt like I didn't know anything about anything. I was just super excited. And so I think that's contagious. So anyways, just a little bit about me and kind of like my journey. I am a mom of four kiddos. My oldest daughter is about to turn 21, and I have an 11-year-old, an 8-year-old, my youngest is 7. And so we're super busy in our house. My husband works with Jamie's husband. They're both in law enforcement together, and she can attest to how crazy their schedules are. And they're on call constantly, and their work schedules are constantly changing, and every day is different, every week is different. And so I have always kind of looked for something that could allow me to be really flexible with my kids and with his schedule. Um, so I'm an RN by trade. And the past 8 years or so, I've worked full time with another network marketing company, with a direct sales company. And it was a party based company. And probably like any other, well, what I should say is this company I felt like it gave me freedom, but it wasn't matched up. Like my income did not match up with my freedom, if that makes sense. I wasn't getting ahead and making what I really, really desired to make a difference in my family. And so I came across Plexus, like probably many other people have, on Facebook. I had seen Jamie's posts and just never paid attention to them because I really thought it was just another, gimmicky weight loss thing. And of course, being an RN, I'm super just particular what I put in my body, and just never really believed in any type of gimmicky weight loss, anything. So she posted something at some point, and I'm pretty sure it was about the multivitamin, and it really caused me to, for whatever reason, stop and look at it. And I went, wait a second, they have a multivitamin? Like, what is this? And so I really started to research it and realized what it was. So anyways, I was at a point in my life where I was super unhappy with my weight loss efforts, and just really the state of my health at the time. I was the total like roller coaster dieter, would lose 10, would gain it back, lose it, gain it back. And I just was at a point where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so I decided to give the products a try. And I would say immediately, like within the first week or so, I saw some like significant changes in my health. And so that was kind of what piqued my interest to kind of reach out to her and ask her about the compensation plan and how that kind of worked. And so the first thing that I just want to say to you guys is that, honest to goodness, like, you guys are in the best company possible. Like, the compensation plan that you have is like none other that I've ever seen out there. I feel like I have made more progress in the almost less than 2 months I have been in this company than I made in 8 years in the other company. So I think belief, like Jamie said, is super important, and just really believing that what you offer people is really the best compensation plan on the planet. And so, you have like a serious gift to be able to give people. And so don't be afraid to share that, because honest to goodness, like, people need this. People need this. I am living proof that people need this opportunity. And if you're not someone who is sold out on that already, I think that is something that you can totally go to school on, if that makes sense. Just like really delve into that and start watching diamond documentaries and start, really researching your compensation plan. I say our compensation plan, because it's a big deal. And if you look at it like that, it's so much different when you share it with people, if that makes sense. So, so when I decided to come on board, I told Jamie I was all in. I was an all in. That's just kind of how I am. But I basically told her, I said, I am coachable and I'm teachable, and I'll just do anything that you tell me to do. And I really looked at where she was, and that's exactly where I wanted to be. And so I knew if I just followed her and did what she told me, that I could get there. And so that's the other thing, if you're feeling that way, you just lock arms with with your upline, and just if you're really hungry for it and you're willing and you're coachable and you're teachable and you work hard, she will lead you exactly where you want to go. So I saw that this business could offer me something that so many people like work years and years for in other companies and never achieve. And I knew that if I just kind of did the work and built the momentum, that we could do this really fast. And so when I jumped in like running, like Jamie said, I was like, okay, fast start gold. I don't know what that is, but that's what I want to do. And she was kind of looked at me like, okay, here we go. So kind of how I started is I just made a list of everyone I knew. And I wanted to reach out to these people, like specifically friends, family, friends on Facebook who I knew could use the business. And that's how I reached out to people immediately. I did not even, didn't occur to me to not do it that way. I just saw this for what I loved about it. And even though I love the products, I was like, this business is amazing. Like there are so many women that could use this. And so I literally went through my list of people and pulled those people out. And I basically sent them a little text that said, hey, totally random question. Do you have like 5 minutes for me to pick your brain about something? And I don't think not a one of them said no to me. And I got on the phone with them, like every single one of them. Some of them I met in person because I really wanted them to just like hear my heart and see how excited I was, because it totally makes a difference. And so it didn't even occur to me to not reach out to them about the business. That's just how I did it. And so then I started looking, I wanted okay, now what's the next step kind of thing. And I looked at 3-2-1. And so I knew that I needed something to do on a daily basis. And I looked at 3-2-1. I was like, nope, that's not going to cut it. That isn't like minimum. That's not going to get me to where I need to be in the next, how many days. And so I looked at the action stack. I was like, okay, I can totally do this. And I think it was about the same time that Fallon did the challenge last month of like, reach out to 200 people. And I was like, okay, game on. This is how I'm going to do this. And so I basically decided that I was going to reach out to 20 people a day. That was going to be my 20 new people a day. That was going to be my go-to. So, and I am totally a planner girl. Like something about writing things in my planner is really cathartic to me. So I write everything down. I have a tracker. And I every single day would write my IPAs at the start of every single day. And so that's what I would kind of work through every single day. And so just kind of breaking that down, what that looked like for me, it's personal growth and business growth. And so I would do at least one of each every day. I typically try to do that like in either the beginning of the day or the end of the day, so that I can leave the majority of my day open for the time that you can contact people, maybe making contacts with people basically. So just really focusing on doing those things at the what do you call them, bookends of your day. But I also like let this be more organic too. It was more organic in the sense that if someone were to reach out to me and say, what's the Mega X do? And I had no clue. I would delve into that and I would research it and I would watch videos and I would send them the information. And that's kind of like, that's your business growth right there. And so just kind of letting that be part of your day. And then the other thing I'll say too is that for me, I was, like Jamie said, super hungry. Like I am an information person. You cannot ever give me too much information. And I always feel like the more that you learn, the more that you grow. And so at night when I go to bed, I don't turn on my TV and watch Netflix or whatever. I pull up YouTube and I watch videos like back to back to back. And so like now my thing is Instagram. Like I totally am enamored with learning how to use my Instagram. And so that's what I do when I go to bed. Like I watch videos, and it probably sounds crazy, but it really, it does, it propels you forward when you invest in yourself like that. So, and then my new contacts, I was reaching out to 20 new contacts every single day. Some days this did not happen, obviously, but some days I would do more than that because I knew some days I had more follow-ups to do. And so when you're trying to follow up with 40 people, it's hard to reach out with 20 new people. So I had some days where I was reaching out to like lots of people, like 50 or more people. Um, and then as far as follow-ups go, follow-ups for me, I would do follow-ups every single day. If I were to contact someone like on a Monday, then I would follow up with them on a Wednesday, and I would literally write it in my planner so I would not lose track of anyone. If they did not get back with me on Wednesday when I reached out to them, I put them in my calendar for Friday and I'd reach out again. And so just really making sure that I was diligent in following up and just kind of keeping that conversation going with every single person that I possibly could. Um, Follow up with my team. The other thing that I think is super helpful as we're growing kind of quickly is I literally have a list. I'm like looking at my planner. I want to show you my planner. I literally have a list on my planner of all the people, all the teams. These are my little IPAs up here. But I just made like a master list that I move from week to week to week. And I literally go down through and I want to make sure I reach out to every single person on my team at least once a week, just to make sure they're doing okay on their products and just keeping everyone like just keeping everything tight is how I think of it. And then of course my posts and things like that. So that's kind of like what my daily IPAs look like. I will tell you, I work from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. when my kids get out of school. They're all in school now. So from like Monday through Friday is technically my work hours, but I will also tell you that I feel like when you have a huge goal, that work hours don't really count sometimes. And there are times where I have to, set something aside to be able to answer someone's question or sign someone up because that's like, I just feel like it's about momentum and just keeping going. So I think sometimes we can be too rigid on our schedule. And I think it's important to be okay with that. So, let's see. So I will say also, growing up in the MLM world, I also knew the value of and the importance of plugging into everything that I possibly could, team calls, personal growth, everything like that. I always tell people, it was always the girl who was fearful of trying new things. And so had I not been someone who really invested in myself personal growth wise, I would not be able to do what I'm doing today. Like there's no way. So personal growth is huge, and just really tapping into anything that you can. I wanted to say this too. Book club is awesome, but I am totally not where they're at in the chapter. Like I started way after they started their book, but I'm on there every single week anyways, because I know that I'm going to get so much from it. And so just being willing to be inconvenienced, no excuses. Like that's my motto, no excuses. So I really do, like Jamie said, I really do think it just all comes down to being hungry. I think when things get tough or you feel uncomfortable in a situation, you just kind of have to ask yourself, like, how bad do I want this? What is this really going to change for me and my family? What is this going to do for us? And I truly believe that nothing good comes from comfort zones. And, I have only been here for less than 2 months, and being on this call is totally not comfort. This is totally not a comfortable thing. But I am not going to let that stop me. I feel like if you want to get to where you need to be or you want to be in life, you have to, you just have to really let go of what people think, just so not caring what people think, and being okay with that. And so don't be afraid to reach out to people that you think are like, you put on a pedestal and you think they're amazing. And, you have no idea what they have going on in their lives. They could be that girl who has been praying for something to change. And, maybe it's your job to reach out to them. And I will just say, I will kind of end with this, although I know you've got some questions for me, Jamie, but I start every single day with a prayer that God will just lead me to where I need to be and to be in front of who I need to be in front of to whoever needs this opportunity. And then I really purposefully am quiet and just listen to what He says. And I have learned to, when that name pops up, that chicken list girl's name pops up in your head, to not to be okay with that and just be obedient to that. Because I really, really feel had I not been listened to Him and been obedient when He was like, you need to move here and you need to make this change, I wouldn't be here. And change was hard. Like, change is scary. And jumping out of something that I had been in for so long and jumping into something new, that's a huge deal. And but I just there was no other option. And so I feel like I would not be where I am today had I not listened to that. So, and I feel like I wouldn't had the privilege of already helping 30 some people get started on their journey. So anyways, that's my story.
Yay. Thank you so much, Jen. Yes, I have some questions here, and I just wanted to reiterate some things that you said too, because I absolutely love so much of it. But anyway, before I get to a couple of things, I know Cody put a question there too, I'll bring up too, but I wanted to bring back, let me see here, I need to look at my notes because I'm going to forget. I love that you get on the phone. So in terms of your activity, like you're getting on the phone, that's like where you're talking to people, or meeting in person. I mean, that's to have people hear your voice and to hear your genuineness and passion and being able to have that dialogue back and forth, I think is huge. And that can be a game changer too. And one thing that you said to me, I don't know if you remember, shortly after you got started, you had said, I have been waiting my whole life for an opportunity like this. And that is when I saw that hunger, because that's why, I mean, you've been all in and just doing the things because you recognize this as an opportunity that you have been waiting for, and that and so just to be all in to go for that, I just absolutely love that. So for you, I guess kind of leading into that, and then I want to quick bump over to some of these questions, but leading into that, I mean, have you ever thought that this is being, too much work or not having enough time or whatever? I mean, I see that as coming from that statement you told me. So can you mention or talk about that a little bit?
It's funny because I feel, and I was thinking this earlier, like there's this level of excitement that I feel like I've never had before. And I don't feel like this is work. This is just so different than than anything else. I feel like I'm in the right place at the right time. And I definitely, like, it's work. I shouldn't say it's not work, but it's fun. To me, it's fun. It all kind of ties in a little bit with my medical background and just being able to use that part of it. But yeah, I just feel like it's a calling, and I don't even, it's hard to even put into words. I know that I'm in the right place, and it doesn't feel like work. Like, I enjoy helping people get healthy and helping people feel better. And I've always, like, since the beginning of time, that's all I ever wanted to do, was just help people feel good. And so I really feel like it's not work. Like, it's just fun. And I'm social. Like, I love communicating with people, and I love talking on the phone. I'm a talker. So yeah, it doesn't feel like work to me.
Mm-hmm. And when you came back from vacation, I remember you saying you came back and you had said, usually you said I guess you can kind of say on that. What did you tell me when you came back from vacation?
Yeah, normally I would come back from vacation and I had a really hard, it was almost like I had to, I was depressed for like a week because I was like, oh, I gotta come back to work and I gotta do this and that and the other. And I just was like a sinking, like, I just want to live on vacation my whole life. And coming back from spring break, so we wrapped up our goal when I was in Florida. Coming back from spring break this time, that was gone. Like, I never had that feeling at all. It was just like, all right, jump back in. What are we, where are we going? What are we doing? And I also, like, worked on vacation too. And that's not something that I never, like, would have never crossed my mind. No. So yeah, it's almost become something that I don't have to escape. It's like this amazing part of my life that I guess it's just about finding something you're passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah.
yeah, just to not have to need that break and to be able to just move on. And yeah, I was going to mention that, you guys, she was on vacation in Florida, and that's when she hit Fast Start Gold. And that's not because she had all her joins in before she went on vacation. I think you had a huge chunk of your majority joins coming in Florida on
Yeah,
vacation.
my poor husband. My poor husband drove for 2 days straight. I was like, I'm working. He's like, just keep working. So yeah.
Yeah. So
We worked
eyes on the prize and goals and doing what it takes to reach those goals is really kind of where your mindset was. And it's a mindset of, are you looking at something as, a problem or an excuse, or are you looking at as, finding solutions and making things happen? So looking at, one question that came in here, how long did you watch me before seeing your X Factor post? Did you know that? Do you remember?
Oh gosh. Well, Jamie and I have been friends for a few years. And I had seen her posts, and I would pay attention to them, and the fact that I could see that she was moving up. And again, I had never so when I was in my other company, I was blinders on, never looked at any other marketing plan ever, like never. I just worked my, um, you know, on my own thing. And I remember seeing her post. I remember seeing her move up fairly quickly. Like that would always catch my attention. But I'm sure we've been friends on Facebook since I met you, but she never, I don't think we ever talked about Plexus really, like the products even. It's not anything that she was ever like, hey, you need to come do this. She was very respectful that I was doing something different. And it was totally me coming to her and saying, what are you doing? But yeah, probably we've been friends on Facebook for like 3 years. I don't even know.
I was going to say 2 or 3 years, something like that. Yeah, it might have been 3. And we had talked about talked about it in general before, but not specific. So,
right.
But, and then, so in terms
it's all about timing.
It is. And we said that, you felt it was just truly God's timing.
I just totally feel like it's a God thing. I was not ready for it. I was not open to it. And, there were certain things that had to change in my life, and it's all God's timing.
So looking at because I know you do things a little bit differently in terms of, not differently, I should say. I know there are other diamonds who've spoken about this too, in terms of really focusing on reaching out about the business, and a lot of people do, but I know a lot of people don't, and they shy away from that, and they really do most of their reaching out about the products first, and it's more of a stretch to try and reach out about the business. So can you talk more about how you are reaching out to people? Because I know you really do focus on business first, and then, referrals, and then kind of the products. So kind of talk about your sequence and maybe tangible specifics on how you're reaching out. And then Cody did ask too, what are you sending to these 50 plus people a day when you're reaching out to that many people? That was another question that came out. So if you want to touch base more on kind of that and what that looks like for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to kind of give you an example, if I have someone who I know, for example, I'll give you a specific example. I have a girlfriend who is a teacher. She's one of my kids' teachers, and she's been all of my kids' teachers, so I know her really well. I know that she works an extra job during the summer. Most teachers, I shouldn't say most, but a lot of teachers have an extra job during the summer, and I know it's a job that she doesn't like, but she does it because she has to do it. And so I know that the business would help her. I just know it would be a blessing to her. And so I, again, sent her this message, and I was like, hey, do you have 5 minutes for us to chat on the phone? And we got on the phone, and I basically just said, I just have to share this with you because I've recently partnered up with a health and wellness company, and I am just over the moon excited about these products and this business opportunity. I just want to share it with you. And, is that okay? Would you be open to that? And she's like, of course, that's awesome. And so I said, well, and then I just kind of go into explaining about how the business is, is maybe different than what I was doing before or whatever, and explain more about the business. And then, well, this is what the products are. Because I feel like they go hand in hand. You can't really explain the business without explaining the products. So I kind of explained both. And, but, it was obvious that I was reaching out to her for the business because I knew it could be a benefit to her. And just literally being honest and blunt in the fact that you're like, I know that you could use this in your life. And I know that she's a person who is very into health and fitness. And, so I knew that the products would be beneficial to her and she'd be excited about them. And so that's kind of how, is that helpful? Like, I don't know, I'm not giving you like specific scripts or anything like that, but that's basically what I do is I reach out. If I see that there is a need for the business, then that's how I'm going to reach out. And I feel like, after you reach out about the business, I mean, that's part of the business is the products. And so you're kind of explaining both at the same time. And for me, it's not a either or. I feel like they kind of both go hand in hand. So, is that helpful?
Love that. Yeah. No, I think that's great. And I think so many times it's underestimated that people need the business as much as they need the products. So to be able to mesh that together. Did you get responses?
And then what was?
Oh, the other one was, when the 50 people a day were reaching out, were you reaching out to like that many people? Was it the same thing that you're saying? Can I get
For the most part, yes. For the most part, yes. I mean, you can't, I mean, it's almost impossible to reach out to that many people and not cut and paste a little bit, but it's just something really simple and generic, like, hey, and I always personalize everything. I think that's important too. You want to personalize it, especially if it's someone that and, you're watching them on Facebook and, like her child just went to, like we just had a daddy-daughter dance, her kids went and did that. And so like specifically commenting like, oh, I love the pictures or something. So making it personal. So it's not cookie cutter. But then just saying, I just said something like, again, like I've just partnered up with a health and wellness company and I am like super excited about the products and I am feeling absolutely amazing. And can I send you some information? Would you be interested in hearing some information? And again, like hardly anyone's saying no to me. I mean, some people don't respond, obviously, but for the most part, most people are like, sure. And even if it's something that they're not interested in down the road, they're pretty open to just hearing information. I feel like it's pretty non-invasive when you word it that way. And then, even some of the girls that have said, no, thank you, they're the ones that are now messaging me because they're seeing my posts. And so like the past week or so, I've had probably at least five girls that I talked to before and wanted to send them information, messaging me and saying, hey, can you send me that information now? So yeah, pretty much like I said, just super simple and just cutting and pasting. And then I'm just sending them information. Just again, generic information. I love I don't even know, like the 1-minute video from the company. Like that's the one I use. And I probably heard Cody, it's probably in one of her videos because I watched like every one of your videos. You talked about sending that video. And so I love to send that video and just kind of explain what my experience has been so far. And then just literally asking them, what are your specific health concerns or health goals? And then letting them answer that and then kind of going from there. So you're always, giving value to the product and what it can do for them before going into anything else.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Exactly. And then you're really intentional with your follow-up. Like you mentioned before, you're actually following up whether they answer or not answer, right? In a couple days,
right.
And then after that. So being intentional with, and then obviously people, even if they say no, they could come back around later. So definitely love that. And then one thing I wanted to mention, I know we're a little bit up on time here, but I know you're really good at tracking your goals and you have a goal set and then you're looking at the next goal. And I mean, you have your long-term kind of BHAG goal that I know people talk about, your big, hairy, audacious goal. You have your big long-term goal and you have your goals now. And one thing you've said too, you're like, hey, let's go for it. I'll reach for the moon and land in the stars. I remember saying that. And that's awesome.
I got a crazy goal.
Yes, and that's good. Yeah. I mean, it's not something that you're scared of.
Yeah, no, I know. My father-in-law just said that the other day. He's like, well, what if you don't reach that goal? Because he of course taking the product, so he gets all the information in the mail, and he's like, well, I see, what are these diamonds doing, and what's this trip to Hawaii? And I was like, well, I'm on that trip to Hawaii, and he's like, well, when is that? I said, well, that's whatever, I have to earn it by June if I want to go this year. And he's like, oh, what are you going to do if you don't hit that? I'm like, so what if I don't? I'm going to be that much further ahead for next year, whatever, I don't care. So anyways, I'm a firm believer in keeping it really, I'm a very visual person. I like pretty things. So I keep it in front of me all the time. I have just down to like my little, probably won't be able to see it, but my little screensaver on my phone is like Hawaii. Because that's something that excites me, and I feel like like I can reach that. It's tangible to me, and so that's super exciting to me. And so that's on my phone, and I have a big tracking board, and it's just like like kind of like a dry erase board, and I put all my, it's visual. I got all my trips that I want to take my kids on, and the things that I want to do for my hubby, and I want to be able to buy a house on the lake for my kids because they love to fish every day, and just that kind of stuff, and keep that in front of me every single day. And then around the outside of that, I'm tracking all my numbers and how many people I have. My kids do this with me. Every day they come home from school, they're like, how many do we have today? So it's totally a family thing. And I'm just tracking the number of people that we have and what our I have it all plotted out what our next goal is. And, then keeping the big goal always at the top. So, but yeah, tracking is huge to me. And just like working backwards is the other thing, like really looking at what is your goal and when do you want to achieve it by, and then breaking it down into little pieces, and knowing exactly what you need to do on a daily basis to get there. So kind of like working it backwards.
Yes, awesome advice. I love that. Because if you have your goal, but then you got to actually break it down. Okay, what are the steps that I'm taking today to make that happen? And if I keep doing that every day, can I then tangibly get there? So perfect. And I love that your kids are involved and they're excited and doing it with you. I mean, it should be a family thing, right? I mean, you hit a goal, celebrate with the family, get them involved, and so they know why.
I know, they were funny. They're like, what do you mean we can't go to Hawaii with you? And I was like, well, I'll take you to Hawaii another time. It was funny though.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you. I know we're up on our time. I don't think I saw any other questions in here. So thank you so much, Jen. Thank you guys all for hopping on. And I just appreciate you pouring into us and just kind of giving us some of your excitement and inspiration and your tangible steps of how you've done that. So
thank you for letting me share.
Yes. All right, everyone. Have a great night.